Hello, welcome. I'm glad you're here today, and I thank you for your time and energy in joining me. My name is Patricia Dawn, and this is my personal YouTube channel. And my desire is to share my healing journey from the disease of addiction, and to bring forward the medicine wheel as a tool that may serve other people that are walking the red road of sacred sobriety and clean time. It's been an interesting day, and it's what made me want to come and do the video, because it hasn't been a good one. Other videos I've done, I'm excited to bring the message to the people, but today I hurt. I'm having a hard time, and I wanted to share that too, because that's what happens when we're walking the red road and we're trying to find our way. So I've been doing some of the step work that goes with the 12-step program, and I'm at a point in that where we do a excavation of the soul, and it's kind of like tapping the woundedness and letting it rise and seeing what it's got to say, but it's also having to feel it, because there's way more information in feeling it than there is in thinking about it. And I don't know if that's what's haunting me today, because I'm very tender. I can feel my emotions sitting right here, and I'm having to walk around what I call armored. Hey, how's it going? Good. Yeah. Fine. Yeah, great day. Nice weather. You see the birds? That kind of stuff. And I've been doing it. I've been doing it for a couple of days now, and it's worn me out. It's really worn me out. And today at work, part of what happens for me is I've been diagnosed with PTSD, which I think a lot of us carry in different aspects of the spectrum of PTSD. But I had some coworkers come to the door and then come through the door and just started, because we're renovating, and they just started moving furniture, and I'm on the phone with a client, and they're really in crisis, and it caught me off guard. Like I just felt overwhelmed instantly, and I felt like I was in crisis when all they were doing was moving furniture out, because we've got to get ready for the maintenance men to come in. And I could feel it like just take over me and kind of get stuck here. And I'm trying to listen to this person whose phone isn't working very well, and it's crackling in and out, and I'm afraid for them, because they're in such a vulnerable state. They're an addict. They got a year of recovery. They're not doing very well. They've lost their housing. They've had nothing but violent responses to the need for their needs. And people that are burnt out doing this work. And they're scared. And they're alone. And they have me to help them, to shore them up and keep them strong as they get through this super dark time. And I'm not full today. I'm thin. And it bothered me, because I didn't know how to stand in that moment and just breathe and regulate and be able to kindly say to my coworkers, I need some privacy. Can we do this in a couple minutes? But instead I reacted. I left the room, tried to hold the conversation outside, but I couldn't hear them very well because of the phone. And they were trying to find this information to give me that I needed to find resources for them. And it's like end of day. So I've been here all day. I've been walking in this armored way, smiling. Don't want anyone to know. Hey, it's great. And it's not. It's really hard. And it's been hard for a while. So one of the things in the trauma training that I'm being exposed to, is that there's many forms of reactions to old wounds that rise. And it's to be aware of where the pain is coming from. So is it a past pain being ignited and brought to the surface for healing and to be made into medicine, knowledge, wisdom, and experience? Is it a recent pain that is still bleeding and breathing and oozing, metaphorically? meaning it's not real, it's just what it feels like. Is it a reaction to the PTSD because today everything's thin and I feel haunted by the shadows that I'm trying to heal, that I'm trying to learn from? Or is it because I'm in this tender place of doing the step work, the shadow work, the cleansing of the crooked trails that keep me hostage to these stories in my mind that are old and perpetuated? And so I offended a couple of the coworkers, not intentionally, but it didn't take much. And so I was able to finally get back in the office and have quiet because they moved, I guess, whatever they needed to move, and we share offices, so yay. Privacy isn't something that's common, and I feel like as a team we're kind of unaware of how to move amongst each other, and I'm told, things get chaotic, and I'm thinking, couldn't we do better? Couldn't there be like some respect of, hey, you see you're on the phone, we need to do this. What do you need? This is what we need, like the dialogue, the conversation. So it showed me, right? If I'm going to build relationships with other human beings that consist of respect, honesty, awareness, understanding, forgiveness, compassion, I need to be able to do it for myself and for others. And I knew, after I kind of settled a bit, I knew that it was me, tired, and doing this emotional labor around the healing and the work of excavating the shadows, digging up those old wounds, listening to them speak and offering, healing, forgiveness, acceptance, the spiritual principles that allow us to find the red road and find who we're really supposed to be and find ourselves, meet ourselves in the moment, meet ourselves in a way with generosity and kindness and curiosity. But today, I just surrendered. Once I was able to offer that soul some resources, some support, and some connection, they were able to take their next steps. And they do have a resource base, and they do have family members supporting them. So I was able to release them in prayer, and I'll check in again next week and see what else I can do. But when I went to apologize to one of the coworkers, they were offended to the degree that they weren't able to really accept the apology at first, and understandable, right? I didn't speak well, and I didn't do it with respect, and I didn't do it in good energy. It was like a spat comment. And so I apologized. They let me know how it felt, which wasn't easy to hear, and made me want to react again, but I didn't, because I know now, having been on the road for a while, what is trauma, what is woundedness that wants to speak, what is, just generally being offended or taking it personally, or it's a down day, it's a tired day, it's a tender day, and I can acknowledge that and speak from that point where I just don't have the capacity today. And so what made me want to come and do this video was that healing trauma in recovery requires a lot, and what I feel that it needs the most is acceptance, and this gentle way of holding that woundedness and listening from here and not analyzing from here and not getting stuck in here. And I did that. Once I apologized, and when I apologized to the second coworker, they were awesome because they get it. They have the capacity to be able to understand and not wear it. And they said to me, it's okay, we all need a good cry. And that just leveled me because I could feel it coming. And I said, yep, it's scheduled. And then she said, just know that we all care about you a lot. I had to suck the air in. I'm like, thanks, and ran out the door. And so I wanted to offer that to folks. I want people to know that I'm not walking around and singing and kicking my heels and butterflies and bubbles don't flow out of me or around me. There are days that frickin' suck. And I mean suck hard. And today, meh, I don't think it sucked hard. It wasn't all day. It's the end of the day. It's that one moment that I lost my balance, my spiritual balance. And I created harm. And I acknowledged it, and I owned it, and I lay it to rest as I walk through the trees and nature and breathe in the wind, and I think to myself, I am a blessed person. For that human being on the other end of the phone, they're fighting for their life today. And the traumas of the addiction that has its deep, dark claws entrenched in their heart and soul, they're surviving. And the resources and the people on the ground are burnt out and limited, and the harm ripples and ripples because we live in a world where we can't think of others anymore. We're out here really in the individuation place and kind of stuck there. And I'm grateful today that I could listen, because they asked me, am I talking too much? Am I taking too long? You know, that am I even worthy to breathe? And it's like, yeah, you're fine. Keep going. I'm listening. Because I have time, because I have a resource base, because I have been on the red road for a long time. I want to give back to those that are struggling, that have fallen, that are trying to get back up, because I remember that. And that's a belly crawl, that one, especially with the shame. The shame is so toxic and so intense, and it just radiates itself in everything I do. It just hijacks all the good stuff. Look at these big trees. I love them. And so what I've learned in terms of accepting that I'm having a trauma response and that I can acknowledge it is to incorporate the box breath, breathing in, so 1, 2, 3, 4, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, release slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, breathe in. And it's called the box breath, and it can regulate my nervous system like it has. I can feel the tension leaving my shoulders. And then there's walking in nature, which I've done, and that's where the video is being made. And there's also the first step on the red road of surrendering. Surrendering my mind, surrendering my thoughts, surrendering the feelings. Meaning, I don't need to name them. I don't need to sit in the story and stir it about how bad it all is, or I shouldn't have, or they should have, and none of that. You just set that down. Let it fall to the ground. Let it move through the earth. Let it be received by the earth, that it can be turned into good medicines. And I'm swaying back and forth like I'm cradling, which is another way of regulating the nervous system. My mother does that when she holds her child. She'll rock back and forth. Yeah, it's like a cuddling. There's this saying, she who rocks the cradle rocks the world. Yeah, and then some gratitude, and what can I do to look after myself today, which is a great question, especially at the end of a day in tender moments. And one of the things I can do is I ordered pizza. So there's no cooking tonight. That's going to save me about an hour and a half. No dishes. Gratitude, I get to go home. I got to walk through the trees. I do have housing. I do have food. My home isn't infested with mice shit, mice, bugs, dirty blankets. I get to serve my community when I'm full and strong, and I know what that takes. And so I wanted to offer this moment because that energy has quelled. I'm not taking it home. I haven't stuffed it. It's not going to come out sideways and harm my people at home. And I'm recognizing that my mind has settled. It's not telling me a story anymore because it really kicked up in that response or reaction and wanted to make it their fault and I'm a victim. And I didn't go there. I just took that breath in and then acknowledged that I had reacted and went and made the apology, which was, difficult, and the emotion of being forgiven and feeling awkward. And there was shame because I'm new. I don't know the team. I don't have established relationships. I'm still learning. I'm that awkward donkey in a horse race. And my body's telling me I'm hungry and I'm tired and I've been going, busy, buzzy. And that works against me too. And so I'll be going to a meeting tonight to sit amongst my recovery people to share or let in what they're sharing. But to be in a room with people that are like-minded, that understand, that don't have to hold anything against me or any judgment, as is on the team, because they're like that too. We're here to create good work. We're here to look after those who are trying to find their way home to the red road. And so I offer this to you today, quietly and humbly. And I hope your day is gentle. I hope your evening is filled with flow and ease. I hope that when you look up, you see sunshine and light, and you reflect that you are precious and true, a gift of the Creator, and we all come together in the great oneness, the one breath we all share, because we belong to each other, to the Creator, to the great Mother Earth, and to life, to the gift of life. So I thank you for being here and sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a fabulous, sparkling day. Hi, all my relations, Dak Yaswin.